Paranoia forwards already. Paper X. Very fast play indeed. That's sick. And the wall up. None the bloody wiser.
It's Paper X in control. Lovely response. Ready for it. And something in their faces. Here I stand. Worried, are they? They're going up against the half-back. Starts. No way! Jingg, your movement is just impeccable.
Around the corner, finds the first. The Hawk going to be sent. Free swings. Clears out lead. Prowler at the ready. Trent in front! And Batman is him! His first global stage!
In the dynamic universe of esports, certain teams stand out not only for their victories, but for the passion and unique style they bring to the game. One such team is Paper Rex, a Singapore-based organization that has left an indelible mark on the Valorant competitive scene. A demonstration of this is that if you entered this video, you probably already know Paper Rex and some of their history. You may even be a die-hard fan, which shows the incredible recognition this team has gained over the past few years. In this video, we will explore Paper Rex's journey from its humble beginnings to its current position as one of the most formidable and recognized teams on the international scene. In the second half of the 2000s, the competitive structure that would shape modern esports began to take shape. One of the most relevant games in this process was Counter-Strike 1.6, a title that left indelible milestones like expansion through third-party companies, the rise of LAN culture, and the emergence of mythical names such as Heaton, Spawn, Forest, and one of our protagonists today, DSN. Harley DSN Orwall was one of Fnatic's great players in the 1.6 era. This Swedish player won multiple awards under the orange uniform between 2005 and 2010. DSN was not an AIM star. He was recognized for his great understanding of the game and communicative values. In 2011, DSN retired from being a competitive player to study in Taiwan, where he would strengthen his connection with the Asian culture, as on multiple occasions he expressed that he did not feel completely comfortable in Sweden, his native country, and that he needed to be constantly on the move. So half a decade later, he began his bittersweet career as a coach, in this case for Boot, a Shanghai-based team that was transitioning to CSGO. After 3 long years as a coach, DSN decided to step aside and later joined forces with Nikhil Hathiramani, founder and editor-in-chief of CSGO 2 Asia, and therefore a key figure in esports in this region. Together, they started the project of what we know today as Paper Rex. But not everything was so easy or clear at the beginning. With a sea of doubt in between, Nikhil and Harley took the name Paper Rex from a random name generator, and with that they started their CSGO team in February 2020 based in Singapore. Their goal was to boost the first-person shooter culture in Asia, but with an open mind willing to try different approaches and innovate in the scene.
But it is quite a new project. We started in February this year with the Counter-Strike team because me and the other founders of this company are all old Counter-Strike players. So even though we know like we're in Asia, it's probably not the best decision like from a business perspective or anything to go into Counter-Strike, right? Because there's just like, unless something changes drastically in Asia, there's not so much like I don't see an Asian team just like starting to crush international Counter-Strike tournaments in a very, very long time. So it's more like a passion project, I would say.
DSN had it clear. Asian CSGO teams in the short term would not be able to keep up with Western ones, but still his passion for the scene drove him to go ahead with the project. Paper Rex failed to establish itself as a dominant CSGO team, at least internationally speaking, but this experience helped establish its competitive infrastructure, which was completely key to the future of the organization. In 2020, Valorant is launched, a game that requires no further introduction. And it is here where the Paper Rex board saw a great opportunity to expand without losing their first-person shooter DNA. So they started their foray into Valorant by signing players from the Singaporean team Vindicta. This first lineup included local talents looking to establish themselves in the emerging game scene, but that did not free them from the changes that came shortly after. In order to find the optimal chemistry and performance, several changes were made to their initial roster. It seemed that the pieces were not coming together and that CSGO history would repeat itself once again, and this is where the team made a tremendously risky decision. In February 2021, Paper Rex would start participating in the official Riot Games circuit, the Valorant Champions Tour, moving their entire CSGO team to Valorant. And this is how Benkai, Forsaken, Davai, Mindfreak, and Retla, under the guidance of Coach Alex, started their journey in the Malaysia and Singapore VCT Challengers. I told you that the infrastructure they set up in CSGO would be key. 2021 was a crucial year for Paper Rex. Their run through the VCT qualifiers was remarkable, especially given the low expectations generated by a CSGO roster. And so, with a second-place finish in Challengers 3, they managed to qualify for their first international tournament, Masters Berlin, where Paper Rex was eliminated in the group stage, losing to Vision Strikers and Supermassive Blaze. But let's not kid ourselves. In the power rankings, Paper Rex was one of the most underrated teams in the tournament. They didn't yet have a respected name, and the mere fact that they made it to this international event was worthy of applause. Nevertheless, they knew how to take advantage of this opportunity to grow as a team and learn how to stand up to teams from other regions. At this point in the story, not all the pieces were in place yet. The Avengers had not yet fully assembled. But in September 2021, one of the most impressive players in Valorant's history arrived. Jingg was a talented young player from Singapore. He wasn't a well-known name, but he was highly motivated to prove his skills on the server. A few days after joining, they played in the Last Chance qualifier, where they had to finish in first place to qualify for the first Valorant Champions. Unfortunately, they didn't achieve this result and missed out on the biggest event of the year. This brought an end to their remarkable performance in 2021. In 2022, Paper Rex were not yet recognized or feared, but it was with the addition of Jingg that we began to see the Paper Rex we know today, executing bolder and more upfront strategies. Dominating the Southeast Asian region throughout the year, Paper Rex took a well-deserved first place in APAC Stage 1 and Stage 2, qualifying for the 3 internationals of the year.
But let's be real, that was such a scrappy round, and it could have gone into Paper Rex's favor. Here we go, Famous right now with a takedown, but Jingg! With the ding on the 1 and 2, are the bells ringing here for Paper Rex for victory perhaps? Now the wall is being set, the floor though, but still a chance to go the resurrection. Jingg though might have to use his fate instead. There we have the peek on that, can't find the head finally. Nick Asper's dead, and a free big that 4 from Jingg, ding-a-ling-ling! The ace there to end it all, and Jingg will rule the Icebox Kingdom as Paper Rex.
At Masters Reykjavik, they surprised the world, taking 4th place over promising teams such as the Guard and G2. In Masters Copenhagen, they achieved their competitive zenith, reaching nothing less than the final, beating Guild, Fnatic, and Optic Gaming 2-0 in the final winners, Optic being champion of the Masters Reykjavik. The final was played against Fun Plus Phoenix, and it was an exciting series that was decided in a 5th map with a similar level of both teams.
It has forged them into something else entirely. The teleport into the back, they're ready for it. Seen that play before. Angel's more than ready. And Artis as well returns fire. The angle locked down with the operator, the overdrive is denied. Every player toppling, but Jingg returns again, glides to the side, but eventually the shots. Paper Rex holding on. But Xiao One step closer, Josh, one step closer.
That's got them through the choke point as well. This is where things start to get very dangerous.
Incredibly dangerous, but still Forsaken, performing under the pressure to get to aims, the reset! Absolutely ridiculous! And what a play! 4 kills for the final blow!
This series was a hard blow for the team, but it was not the first nor the last. They had achieved a great milestone. They had earned the respect of all the teams in the world, and the appreciation of many new fans that were getting on the APAC train. Undoubtedly, this is not only achieved with competitive results, there was something else behind it. A solid brand that was built throughout those first 2 years. It is very crazy to think everything that was built from a name generated through a random system. One of the great minds behind this was Gad Tan, creative director of the team, and driver of key points such as the disruptive logo, that characteristic shirt with unusual colors, and the constant creation of lighthearted content in the team's social networks. Even the team's own style of play began to give them an identity on a media level. People baptized them as W Gaming for their exaggerated aggressiveness on the server. And that's how the Istanbul Championships arrived. Here, Paper Rex again failed to get out of the group stage, losing against Team Liquid and Leviathan. Despite this, the matches were very tight and the team left with a good taste of the year they had done, but it was still not enough. A final piece was missing.
But we didn't play well and lost. So after those 2 performances, I think we already started to think that, maybe we need to add some firepower.
The dynamic of the squad changed with the addition of Ilya something Petrov in March 2023, which added a new dimension of aggressiveness and precision to their game. Now, with the Avengers reunited and the new franchise system for the VCT, Paper Rex was ready to take everyone by storm in 2023. But there were a few hiccups. Due to visa issues, Something was unable to participate in several key international tournaments such as the Sao Paulo Lock-In or the Tokyo Masters. The team thus facing several hurdles to overcome.
I'm not going to give it to Benkai. No, instead, Forsaken is actually going to go aggressive. I was thinking maybe he'd go and try and get that lockdown into play. Zelsis already finding another. It's left all onto Ben. This kill won't even grant him anything. He needs an instant shot and it's done. It is over. C9 have destroyed Paper X. Sent them home packing in a couple of hours.
In the Lock-In, with its crazy direct elimination format, they went out in the first game with a tough 0-2 against Cloud9 playing with Benkai, replacing Something. But back home and starting with the first ever APAC League, Paper Rex managed a second place in the regular phase and was crowned champion of the region by beating the Asian heavyweight, DRX.
This new version of this team, the best we've seen yet. And they are looking to come out of this as our first ever VCT Pacific champions. 11.
It's the flash from Stax, not receiving anything. Zest gone, and it feels like this could just be it. The orbital strike is available. Mind Freak drops down the smoke. The heal comes in. Forsaken will have him. And surely, that is it. And it is! Devi will be the one to drag them over the line! 13-6! A reverse sweep and a 5-map set. Paper X are inaugural VCT Pacific champions.
This award meant a lot to the team, their first major achievement in Tier 1. With this victory, they had secured their pass to Masters Tokyo and Champions LA, where we come to the climax of this story.
Crashes at the same time though, looking to backstab. The swing in, he's playing it out patiently. There's one, there's two. Jingg in the meantime finds one on the opposite side, but Sam comes up with eliminations. The spike grabbed. Mind Freak, can he exit fast enough? The answer is going to be no. The reckoning at the ready. Instantly invested. A 1v1 to see who can take this now to map point. CGRS. The stand-in. He knows he needs to rush this down. He needs to play for the kill. There's not enough time to go for the plan. He's swinging around the corner, and he manages to get it done! Someone, the shorty, doesn't find him! Paper Rex, they take it to 14!
You gotta be kidding me! That's so...
As I mentioned earlier, something could not participate in the Masters this year. So Cigarettes, a young substitute, participated in his replacement, and to everyone's surprise, had a tremendously good performance, thus getting the team to a 3rd place on the verge of reaching the final, where they lost to Evil Geniuses, forging a rivalry that would settle in the champions, and leaving that feeling in the viewer of, how would have been this tournament if Paper Rex had not had to play with a substitute? There was no time for regrets. A few months later, the championships began, an event in which Paper Rex had never made it past the group stage, having more preparation time because they did not have to play the last chance qualifier, something this time had no visa problems, and this would be the last tournament in which Jingg would participate with the team, because from 2024 he had to present military service, so he would retire from competing. Emotions were running high and the team was more than ready to overcome anyone. And so it was. Since the beginning of the tournament, they won all the matches in their group, and in the playoffs, they won all their matches in the winner bracket, reaching the final after beating Evil Geniuses, taking revenge for their previous match in Tokyo. The World Championship was on a silver platter for Paper Rex. They emerged as favorites. And when they reached the final from the winner bracket, they could choose the 2 map bans and which map to start with. Besides, they were facing EG, who had just beaten Loud in the losers with a tight 3-2. With these feelings and without time to overthink, the great final of the world began.
Oh, there's 10 HP. He's got to be... he doesn't have a chance on it. Seeker's now going to pop on through. It's going to reveal their own presence towards heaven. Demon 1 turns around, takes him down. Something's gone. And now for the fall. Oh my god! Above and beyond! With a spike, they need to get towards the site, and it's on Demon. Let's go! Oh yeah, flash to force Jingg away. Gap now closed, but they need to close down these kills. Who's chose the one to do the first? But look at the response from Something. Instantaneous and clear cut! Boostio, what is going on? Oh my good god!
Has he got time for this?
Nice! What a... Oh my god!
Something. What is that? That is ridiculous. This will give the vote.
Wait.
Oh my god, the Rolling Thunder is going to cancel. He's going to get the plant.
But Demon 1 and Ethan on bodyguard shooting, diving on in! EG standing up to the test! Rotation become on the way. He's going to take him down. Still trying to dig deeper. The paint, it didn't connect. He found nothing. It's a 3v3. Still anyone's game here. Jingg, the next to try and step into the ring. Demon 1 on the other side. Ethan's found. Mindfreak is down to 2. This could be it. Another chance for Jingg. It's all over! EG are your Valorant World Champions!
Sadly, they were once again left with the honey on their lips, but this blow was harder than any of the previous ones. Evil Geniuses became world champions with a rookie roster that at the beginning of the year had low expectations, under the direction of Potter, the first female head coach in Tier 1, but that's a story we can tell another time. With their hearts in a fist, there was no choice but to look ahead and keep trying. Paper Rex's year 2024 was full of ups and downs. As usual for this team, they qualified for every international tournament of the year. The team signed Monyet, a rookie player who, like Cigarettes, would perform well with the team and fill the big gap left by Jingg. In VCT Pacific, they came in 2nd place behind Jingg, the same team that would give them big problems at Masters Madrid, sending them to the lower bracket in the first round of playoffs, to later lose against Sentinels in the lower final, taking an admirable 3rd place.
They're hunting them down, they're chasing them down! Something saving Paper Rex! He's put us down to 1v1, and of course it's gonna be 10s! Is he the one to do this for them. Gonna hear this. Did he spot him? Did he see him? 2 already in the round. A 3rd would be needed. He's creeping closer. Mindfreak's not stopping. He's gonna check, and he does! Sentinels are going to the grand finals. America's last hope holds true.
Right after the tournament ended, the team announced Jingg's return. He was able to avoid his mandatory military service owing to a medical condition. This provided a breath of fresh air and even nostalgia for the team and its fans. In the second split of VCT Pacific, they managed to overcome the Great Wall that Jingg represented this year, getting the victory in the final in a series of 5 maps completely close. It is after this great start of the year that the blow was harder in Masters Shanghai, where they did not win any series and were eliminated with 2 defeats. Against G2 and 100 Thieves, Masters that, by the way, ended up taking the Jingg team.
Flipped up into the open, and now it's all on Mindfreak, and he cannot make it happen! They fought tooth and nail to get to overtime, but Paper X cannot extend the series. They cannot reset it. They cannot get revenge on Boostio. He once again sends them home trophyless.
For the World Championship held in Seoul, Paper Rex came as 3rd seed of Pacific. And for the big event of the year, the team was again eliminated in the group stage against G2 and Edward Gaming, the latter being who lifted the World Champion trophy that year.
But it is just shambolic, smoggy, pure mechanics on display, and he will just rip them all away.
Undoubtedly a second half of the year quite anticlimactic for Paper Rex. The year 2025 started with a historic event for the Pacific region. In a kickoff with a double direct elimination format, Paper Rex failed to qualify to the Bangkok Masters after being eliminated in the lower bracket by Detonation Focus Me, a team that had been performing as the worst, or one of the worst teams in the league, surprising the whole world and leaving to think about the uncertain future of Paper Rex.
Jump onto the corner, cannot be done. 3 for May, out in front. DFM are 1 round away from eliminating Paper Rex, from denying them from an international event for the first time since Champions 2021.
While I was in the production of this video, Masters Toronto happened, and of course, there are many things to comment on. Paper Rex qualified for this match as 3rd seed of Pacific, stage for which Mindfreak decided to step aside from the starting roster after so many years. A sudden change that generated doubts and low expectations in the power rankings for the Masters. But many did not count on one factor.
Game confidence. And all the smiles.
The team signed Monyet, a rookie player who, like cigarettes, would perform well with the team and fill the big gap left by Jingg. Once in Toronto, the team showed a great level against Team Heretics, both at micro and macro level, managing to qualify for the playoffs after a loss against their nemesis Jingg and beating Team Liquid. This is where that dominant aura reappeared, and all eyes were on Paper Rex. 2-0 against G2, 2-0 against Sentinels, 2-0 against Wolves, and in a matter of a couple of blinks of an eye, once again the Dinosaur team was in an international final, this time against the Titans of Fnatic.
In Valorant, Paper X is one of those squads, one of those organizations that has the deepest pedigree, that have been to almost 10 global events across their history in the game. The fact that they don't have a trophy yet is a shock. And that's why people love this team, why they root for them, because everyone has been waiting for that moment where it finally happens, where they finally lift a trophy. And today they have another chance.
It's caught 1. Can they catch the next? Crashes! Topples! The court access towards it, but still, it's B main control for Fnatic. It should be in a good spot for it. Site needs to be cleared out here. In through the back of the site, it's going to be that plant.
10 seconds left.
Watch for Lions all on a bit as the curtain drops. So does Alpha. Rocket to your feet, you cannot stop this team
When Paper X get going, there's no denying him. And Kayak will try everything. But 8-4 is where we leave it. Trigger the wall. And a seize and an aid. Oh, done. These combinations are cooking. That's a foul concoction if you're off at it. You're going to need those heroics. But it's all one. Here's that foot down a hit, I know. Here's that confidence again. Trying to take it here with the outlaw in hand. Jingg is going to try and stop them. Rifle in hand. He's an absolute menace. Just keeping him locked into place. Showstopper against the back wall. Jingg. That's it. He's a menace. All around, sowing and chaos into the mix. Crashes deep in the seas and a horn on top of it. Utah could not be even better there. But snaps to the side, Batman. Double dashing in. We are going the distance. To the corner. But you're out in the open and Forsaken hit the divide. Collecting all sorts of kills and attempt to even it out. Kayak still has that control. Paper X all the way in. Paper X are the ones in control. Gonna play this one smart. Patience is there, but the paranoia. Hold on, you till out into your hands. Forsaken, he's isoed the fights. And something is wrecking them from on high. Paper X do it all.
The DNA of the Paper Rex we met in 2021 was still there, more alive than ever. The die-hard fans smiled again after so many bitter defeats. They proved that this team is still capable of dominating the world, and perhaps of being the most consistent in the history of this game. Amid tears, hugs, and screams, the message was clear. Consistency pays, and Paper Rex has never played to give up. This is a story of trajectory, of constancy, and of redemption. Whatever happens in the years to come, we will continue to remember their impossible plays, the madness of their fans, and of course, the reactions of Alex. Because Paper Rex is not just a team, it's a way of playing, of enjoying the game, and of believing.